Hello, YouTube friends. It's Molar Mauler, and we are in the final Ancient Conquerors mission, the city of Tanis. There's two things that I took from the opening page here. One is that the trade route of Nkami, where we're going to get wood and copper from, the trade route is precarious at best. So we better think about getting in our military supplies fairly early in the mission. The other one, it is to succeed, you must be savvy in business and trade as well as a skillful commander. And then I look up here and it's 8,000 Debens. That's not a large amount of start for a military mission. So they're probably going to want us to build an economy and then build the military. Hopefully we have some time. I wonder what the reserve fund is. It probably isn't a lot. So this is our map. See what we're allowed to build. We can do reed gatherers and papyrus, so I'm hoping somebody buys papyrus. We can do clay and pots, and we can do breweries. In terms of what we can grow, pomegranates and fish. So no barley, so we'll have to bring barley in if we're going to do beer. Just going to zoom in. It looks like on the mini map here there is a large amount of reeds up top. Can't really see them all that well. Well, that's a fair amount. So that's a potential spot to do. We've got hippos down here in this reed patch. We've got a substantial bit of reeds over here as well, so we could do papyrus in either location, I guess. The world map has Athens, Nkami, and Mennefer. Mennefer buys pottery quite a bit. They buy beer, and they are our source of barley, so we'll probably do a in-out beer production and sales. They buy papyrus. That's good. So this is a good trade route. It's cheap, it's land. They're buying stuff that we can sell. So that'll probably be what we do initially to try to make some money. And then we'll see what else we could do. They buy papyrus and pomegranates, fairly expensive water route. They buy beer and pomegranates. And they do sell our wood and copper. They sell shields. So one nice thing about Nkami buying beer, we only have enough barley to do half of what we can sell. But these guys are buying a lot of pottery and a lot of papyrus from us, hopefully. So that'll take some pressure off the land traders to try to do 9,000 in a year. So I have an idea about initial economy. We'll probably do pottery and beer until we can afford to do papyrus. We might even do pomegranates. I think that was 5,000 pomegranates we could sell. We got nothing else to do with the meadow. We might do papyrus over here and pomegranates over here. Disconnect it from the main thing so we don't have dock workers going all the way over here to buy those two items. I have some ideas. Why don't you give me a microsecond and I'll be back with a layout. So this is our layout. We've got a large senator block here, small senator block here. We'll do industry and docks and storage and military all throughout here. We have a fishing village planned. I think the fish are right about here. When I was doing my planning, I looked for them, and there's a nice fishing spot here that'll be close to the ships. We're going to do papyrus and pomegranates up here. I stuck it fairly far north because I want the reed gatherers to make this their first choice because there's hippos here, and I don't want them all coming down here and getting killed. Hoping that they'll start up here and only go down here if they have to. We don't want them risking their lives. So we're going to send our first people up here just because it's a long walk, and I do want the water carrier going by the time I finish populating this block. The reason I do this is I like to have the hygiene on #1 priority. And that allows a water carrier to come and hit the houses that I'm going to put down, and it basically doubles your population right off the bat. You just put things down and then wait for them to employ on their own. It takes longer than it should. So if you can get these at level 2, like as soon as somebody hits it, you can bring in a lot of population a lot faster. Bizarre physician, tax collector. These are malaria areas, so I'm going to put down the apothecary right off the bat. I'm going to put it in the juggler booth spot here. Just because my large block and my medium block aren't designed to have the extra location. We'll eventually replace this with the courthouse. So these are all looked after. Get the gods down. We want to get some raw action going. Now, because we're not doing a library, I'm going to put all 3 gods in this area. We'll put Ra in the other 2 blocks. Leave room for a storage yard there. He'll never be fed. Very tempted to leave this open and let the fire and architect walker come down and cover all this area. We'll be pretty late getting things out here. This is mainly just to give us employment. We're going to open Mennefer. And we're going to turn pottery off are going to import barley. So it's mainly going to be beer and pottery to start with. Leave beer on. Leave clay on. When the clay producers are starting to get close to full, we'll switch pottery on. Be tempting to bring chickpeas in right off the bat to try to feed these initial blocks. It'd be a cheap way of doing it. At least try to get this block fed. It's imports, so we'll feed them out of a storage yard. We'll eventually have this set to getting papyrus, but right now we'll just accept all chickpeas. And then we'll try to get the upper block fed with pomegranates fairly quickly as well. That might be a good use of our funds. Check what the fertility is like here. 63. That's not so great. We'll bump it one more up. 79. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So we'll leave that one there. I'm just curious what the other ones are going to be like. This is probably going to bump up pretty high once the irrigation hits it. 93% right off the bat. %, right off the bat. We almost didn't even have to irrigate those. So we should have some pretty good meadow farming here. 93% right off the bat. Should have just stuck it up there. So we'll feed these guys out of the storage yard. I'll eventually put a granary here just because I have an aversion to using storage yards for bazaar supplies if they aren't importing the food. But since we're not thinking about storage and all of that right now, we'll allow for that. So we're counting on that to get down here. Hopefully that works. And let's get these guys bazaar for chickpeas. We'll feed these guys with fish as soon as we get the fish industry going, but we'll try to do some feeding of the 2 smaller blocks because it's cheap and easy to do so at the moment. So let's get a storage yard for the brewery. And let's get our breweries down. So I want to stick a granary here, I think. So this should be an efficient little beer industry. Barley in, beer out. So we need 6 clay pits and 8 potters. We're into the reserve funds. It isn't a lot. We need one more. I might stick it here. A little quicker access to the clay pits. And breaks up the monotony. So I think that's our initial setup. We've got two fairly stable housing blocks. We've got industry going. When we make money off of the beer and the pottery, we'll try to get Pyrus up and running. Although we might get the fish rates going first. Fish rates, the shipwright, and the fishing wharves. Okay, we'll go live. Gonna try to play on 1.5 speed. Last couple of games, things have been moving fairly slow. So as soon as these things are sending out walkers, we'll switch it off of hygiene focus and onto production focus. There we go. They both popped at the same time. That was nice. The upper block will have to fend for itself, but we'll get the breweries and the clay pits going. And we'll watch this guy. When he gets up to close to 100, we'll switch the potters on. I think that's a good plan. So we're in debt, unfortunately. It's going to take the breweries or the potters a little bit of time to find their employment. And we'll just do some laissez-faire capitalism. We're feeding this block. So fed and watered right off the bat. That's kind of good. So we should be able to bring in a fair number of employees. Do we have the water carrier out yet here? Let me just have a look at the overlay. No, he hasn't spawned anybody yet. So we're going to go hygiene as well till I see that walker. There we go. And we'll go back off hygiene. So this will be at a fairly high housing level right off the bat here. I think I might get that armor going as well. %. Okay, so we're good there. He's found employment. We're going to start feeding that block fairly soon. So that's a pretty efficient, aggressive start to our housing. We'll be able to stop importing this when we get the fisheries going, which will be our next thing. We're pretty good on the workers here. So I think as soon as we make some sales and get a little bit out of debt, we'll start working on the fisheries. Do we have unemployment? We just need Devons. Here comes the caravan trader from Menefer. He only took one of the pots and none of the beer. I guess I should have said beer to export. We'll have to wait for the next trader. Got a fair amount of unemployment. Would have been nice to start setting up papyrus as well. My bad. Well, I'm not going to wait because of that one mistake here. It's going to be expensive. Start off with 5. They're close to the fishing grounds. I need to make some sales. We have a lot for him to pick up this go around. Here he comes. Good, he should do this before the end of the year, and we should have a nice full year. Hopefully it gets here before the end of December. There we go. We're out of debt. 13% unemployment. I think I might get at least 5 of the papyrus makers down. Okay, so we're not buying chickpeas anymore. We are buying fish. And we're going to get papyrus from the other part of the map, and we are going to not trade chickpeas anymore. Have some fish starting to hit the wharves here. Fish starting to hit the storage yard. These are not working. Okay, the cart pushers are working now. I wonder what that was. Probably didn't like being close to the corner. Okay, let's work hard on the fisheries. That is connected. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm scared to start feeding this block here until we have something for those people to do. What I might do is open up Athens and start trying to sell the pomegranates and the papyrus. Okay, so let's get our 3 other papyrus farms down. Let's make sure that we at least have a quarter of a granary here to feed these people. Here's the 9 papyrus makers that we need. Make sure we're actually selling this stuff. And I guess, yeah, we do need a dock. So we should be going full bore on Pyrus now and on pomegranates. Make some beer sales. Hopefully we'll be out of debt. So now I think with our economy going full, we'll have to start thinking about starting up with the military. And we'll start trying to feed the larger block. We have the workers to do that military with. We keeping these guys happy? Okay, good. When we hit 1500, we'll probably have to do a little bit of shrine work. Pomegranates have hit the yard. Okay, so everything is functioning. We made a papyrus sail to Athens. I guess it makes sense to set up the navy. We'll be able to do some composite bow makers here. Be able to do some weapon makers here. Right now we'll start to work on that navy. So let's get an commie open. They'll pick up some of our extra beer, and hopefully that just leaves the Menefer guy able to do papyrus and pottery a little bit better if he isn't going for beer all the time too. We'll want to bring in some wood. I think I'm just going to go on 200 to start with, and then just put these down as we can. And then depending on how the economy is going, I'll start to get a little heavier and try to get some bows and try to get archer forts up. And then we'll try to get some infantry forts up. I want to see how our little area is doing over here. We are sending guys down into the hippo zone now, but thankfully they aren't getting hurt. We'll try to direct their walk so it isn't as silly. They were kind of feeding through here a little bit. Okay, economy's looking pretty good. Definitely keeping up on the food. I think we're going to be putting down our first bit of military here. There's some wood coming from the dock. Okay, we got our first request for some goods. So recruiter and academy. Let's just wait on the academy. Gonna try to stay out of debt now. That mistake on the beer exports kind of cost us there and put us in debt, cost us a lot of interest. We're going to want to start taxing these people here soon. you're going to tax, you should start it as quick as you are able. I think we might be able. Oh, there's a walker there. Okay, we'll get the recruiter down, or the enemy down. And I'm going to have to provide fire coverage and architect coverage for them. And maybe I'll throw a festival to Seth. And start thinking about some shrines. Also start thinking about entertainment as a way to improve our worker situation. So we've done the festival. Let's make a little bit more money here, and we'll start to think about bows and archers. Oh, that is a great blessing. Thank you, Seth. I think I'm going to up wood to 800. I'm going to get the warriors down. And I am going to put an arch fort down. Now, am I going to get 800 wood, or am I just going to get 200 wood? Or I'm going to get no wood. think I'm going to do a little bit of work with entertainment here. Doing extremely good on funds. It might be time to start thinking about the copper imports as well. The economy's going pretty good. I think we might even think about doing shield imports here. We'll watch how that goes. We also have to start bringing in more wood here. I might go 400 because we'll be able to outpace the recruiter. Those houses could use a little bit of help. Nice. Okay. So we've got room for quite a lot of people now. Almost at our target population once those people come in. I don't see me giving mortuaries out, so hopefully that isn't going to be a problem. Okay, we're looking really, really good. Let's start stockpiling pliers. Okay, good. So we got wood going. We've got almost enough for this fort. Good. I think we're going to do another pair of warship wharfs. Definitely keeping up with food. I haven't seen any copper yet. Oh, no, we've got copper. And we're in debt. We keep getting that blessing. I'm happy about that. Everybody else is happy. We'll be able to equip these guys pretty fast. He has weapons. Okay, good. We're gonna get the infantry fort down and start populating it. %5 unemployment. So I don't think we're going to do any beautification there, at least not in the short term. Could be another situation where we could finish this mission before attacks even happen. Which I don't want to have it be the case. But I'm not going to slow down. We can put down a scribal school. I'm going to put down the dentists and finish off entertainment and see where we are for culture. No, we're not going to do that. It's a good thing I didn't. Would really love to get these guys shields. Think about another archer fort here. Like to finish off the navy. It's going to be a big boost to the housing levels. They should all get to modest apartment. Oh boy. Yeah, we're going to finish this mission off prior to any attacks. I have not been impressed with the Ancient Conquerors missions. Pierre was good. Yeah, we're going to win this mission as soon as it notices that we've got the higher level of housing. Unless we end up crashing with debt. I'm going to stop importing copper. Yeah, if you're decent and efficient at building an economy, these Ancient Conqueror missions, you can get to the requirements pretty fast. Okay, we're out of debt again. Yeah, as soon as we oh, 2 months. Okay, well, at least we're going to see some combat, so I feel a little bit better. When we get the 1 month warning, we'll equip these guys with some bows. Unemployment of 9%. That'll keep our prosperity down. Yeah, it'll be a race to see what happens first. Whether we get the attack or whether we win the game. Watch me lose the battle. Okay, we're going to battle. We outnumber them heavily by water. Might as well watch this happen. Oh, we lost a warship, and there was no land troops. So we can definitely deliver fish. There we go. 65 months.
Of Tanis, protector of Egypt. Your glorious victories on land and on water have secured Egypt's continued independence. The once powerful Persians now quake before they speak the name of Pharaoh or Chorus.
Just going to hit keep governing and just talk about a couple of things. One of the things I think I did a nice job on was explaining and showing how to use the workers advisor to toggle hygiene to double the population of your initial blocks. I think we demonstrated pretty well how to get an economy running. We did it in stages. We took our cheap trade route, sold them what we could. When we could use the money, we set up the main industry. I think we showed pretty well a nice disconnect because this section here isn't connected to the rest of the city. And that means that any dock workers aren't going to go and try to do a silly walk to get goods from far, far across the map. We ran into a little hiccup here with the ferries not working. We managed to solve it by getting the ferry off of the corner. So sometimes I guess they like a little room to either side. I don't exactly know why. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.